All right, so week 2, day 3's algo, here it is. Given a string containing space separated words, reverse each word in the string. All right, so let's look at the example. Hello. That's what we're given, and what do we receive in return? We receive ole, right? So that is the same word in reverse, O-L-L-E-H, simple enough, right? But now, let's look at the second example. Hello world. This should be ole space and then world backwards. Dlrow. D-L-R-O-W. So same phrase, same order of words, but now each one is reversed. So it's hello world, same order, ole droll. Trouble. Okay, and then the next one here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. We see the same order of words, but the reverse order of letters in each word. So C, B, A, F, E, D, I, H, G. All right, so what's reversed? It's the order of letters. Is it the order of words? No. All right, now a couple things. If you need to, use split to start to solve this method, and then try and do it without split. All right, in my experience, often when I'm doing coding test interviews, the interviewer will throw in this challenge. Try to do the same functionality for your function without the JavaScript methods, without the inbuilt methods there. Okay, so get the logic, get the core of the logic down yourself before using the shortcuts. Okay, first, if you have to use it, but then solve for the harder problem. If you're able to solve it with your group just fine in JavaScript, remember, start with JavaScript first. Don't go to Python first. And then you can switch over to writing it in Python if you have extra time with your group. We won't take super long today with algos. This is a pretty simple one so that we don't have to go overboard here. All right, any questions before we split us up? Okay, alrighty, let's get started then. Welcome back, everyone. That algo wasn't too difficult, was it? What's a difficulty rating for that one? 1 out of 10. Would you guys grade that?
Honestly, a little confusing for some reason.
5, somewhere in the middle. 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I heard a group solved it. Group 4, room 4. Would you guys like to present?
Yeah, I can present it. I still have it up.
Thank you, Ginger. All right, so let's remind us of the problem again. We are trying to look through the string, and then we are reversing the order of the letters in each word, and then making that a new string, right? So, all right, take it away.
Okay, so first I just set a variable to split the string at the spaces, put it into an array. And this is an empty variable that is going to come into place later inside of the for loop. So now this first for loop is looping through the array of words. So this I is going to be at an individual word. So now that we're at that word, I'm doing another for loop to loop the word itself. So I'm starting at the end of the word with reverse I dot length -1, and then counting down. And then this empty variable that I set earlier is just going to be the word reversed, essentially.
Okay.
So we're just string dot reverse plus equals the end of the word counting down each letter.
Okay.
And now outside of that inner for loop, now that we're done with the word, it is reverse I equals string reverse. So now that I that we're at,
Yeah.
the word itself is now reversed.
Got it.
And then I'm just resetting the string reverse to be used for another word. And so now inside of the array, all the words are reversed, but it's still an array. So I'm just returning reverse dot join to join it with spaces.
Okay. And how does it know where to join, where to add the spaces?
It's just joining with spaces between each word in the array.
Oh, I see, I see. Reverse dot join. So you're taking that reverse and then you're saying dot join here, the whole thing, make it one, but divided by spaces. Here we are. Okay. And so let's see this run and see how it works.
Um,
Okay. So that's for string two, and we
mm,
have the right result, and then string three.
And then just to chime in really quick, I was confused too on where the spaces were being tracked, because I wasn't sure how it just knew to insert a space in between. But it's keeping it, just in case anybody else was confused, it's keeping it from the top since we're reverse or we're doing a loop just through the word itself and then looping through the characters within that same word. It's keeping it in word form the entire time, if that makes sense. It's not like splitting the entire thing alone.
Right, because you're saying reverse, which is this line on 27 here. Reverse, var reverse equals string dot split by spaces.
Yeah. Since we did it up there, like the very first thing, it's keeping it separated in the word pretty
Mhm.
much the entire time. Even though we separate later on in that second for loop, we separate it by the letters. It's separating the letters of that specific word as opposed to separating the letters in the entire array or the entire string.
Right.
So it's keeping that space, where it's supposed to be.
So one way that we can visualize this better is to insert console logs. So I know you guys solved it already and you don't need to see it, but for I guess the sake of us having a visual, can you insert a console log of reverse just below line 27, just so we see immediately what
we're
happened?
on 27.
Yeah,
Okay.
below line 27, yeah. Okay. And then maybe put like a string before that in line 28 within the parentheses, just so we know exactly what it is. You just say this, like put a string before that word reverse and say this is the reversed, this is the reversed var, just so we have a differentiation in our console.
I'm sorry.
So right there where you have your cursor,
Yeah.
just put like a string and then a comma.
Okay.
Something like says, this is our reversed string. Reversed. There we go. Okay. Now let's run it again. I just want to see that a little clear. Okay. So this is what happens immediately after we run line 27. That var reverse, we split the string by spaces. So what are we seeing right there on the first console log that we have? We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. All right. And how is that different than what we're already given?
We're just doing that so we can target the individual words without mixing up between the spaces.
Okay.
So after this is split up,
Yeah.
when we try to go into a for loop, since it's targeting index inside of this array,
Yeah.
it's going to go by word instead of by letter.
Right, because the original input that we're given, let's look at the input for this one here.
Mhm.
It's a string, right? So we turned a string into an array and we separated this array's content. So we're looking at oh sorry, my pen's not working here. Uh on line 15, right? On line 15, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. We're turning that here into what we see in the console, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So the difference is one is a string, the next one is an array. Once you turn it into an array and you separate each value in the array by the space, then you can iterate over it, change it. And at the very end, what we were saying is we turn it back into a string and we say, when we turn it back into a string, add the spaces again. Anyone have any questions about how this works? Sometimes we just need to stare at the code a little bit, add the console logs to see what's happening as we're working there. Okay.
See if that does anything.
Add something to reverse I because this happens multiple times. In order to understand what's happening
Yeah.
in our console, we gotta.
Okay.
Okay. And then add a comma after the quote. There we are. Okay. All right. So we have our array created from our strings. We iterate through each one, and then we reverse the word. So our first one, ABC, becomes CBA, FED, IHG, excuse me. And at the very end, on line 38, is where we join each of those words into a string, and we separate it by, as you see there, spaces. The very last line there on the console. Okay, I'm just now looking at the comments, see what we have here. Anyone else have any questions or alternate solution? By the way, thank you, DeAndre and DeAndre's group.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions? Any other solutions anyone wants to present? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Alrighty, everyone. Let's close out this algo session. Let's get a little break in and go back to the lecture. All right, so we are dealing with more CRUD and, well, we call it CRUD because it's an acronym, right? So we're going to deal with CRUD and databases today. So let's get a good break in, and I'll meet you guys in 10.